Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but before that, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Tyler Herro makes realistic admission about Heat's status as contenders. The Miami Heat are less than 2 full seasons removed from their most recent NBA Finals run in 2023, but point guard Tyler Herro candidly admitted that he doesn't see the team as championship contenders currently. The Heat went into the All-Star break with a 25-28 record and are 9th in the Eastern Conference standings. They are still in position to make the NBA play-in tournament and potentially qualify for the postseason through that route, but it doesn't seem that Herro is hopeful the team can go on a legitimate run for a title again. "I don't think people realize how hard it is to win a championship and everything has to fall in line," Herro said, via SiriusXM NBA radio. "We started the season with Jimmy, Butler, saying we're going to try to win a championship. I think obviously, if we're calling a spade, we're not contenders right now, but I think with the team we're trying to put together we have a lot of young guys that can really help us win. It's not necessarily surprising to say that the Heat aren't strong contenders to go on a run this year." The team traded their biggest star in Jimmy Butler, who was a driving force in Miami reaching their last 2 NBA Finals appearances. The contention between Butler and the organization before the trade certainly could have been a distraction for the rest of the Heat, who lost 5 of their last 6 games heading into the All-Star break. It is still notable to hear Herro speak candidly about his doubts for the team in the middle of the season. On the bright side, Herro does seem optimistic about the team's future with some of their younger developing stars, including Kel'el Ware, Jamie Jaquez, and Nikola Jovic. Heat legend slams crybaby Jimmy Butler for messy Miami exit. The Miami Heat are looking to turn things around in the second half of the 2024-25 NBA season after a first half that was filled with controversy and mediocre play. The Heat finally ended the Jimmy Butler saga by trading the disgruntled star to the Golden State Warriors for a package centered around Andrew Wiggins. However, the Heat's initial results in the few games since the trade weren't exactly promising. Much was made of the highly publicized way in which Butler forced his exit out of South Beach, and one person who isn't thrilled with the way he handled things is none other than former Heat star guard Tim Hardaway, who recently took to SiriusXM NBA radio to relay his thoughts. "I didn't agree with what he was doing. You're under contract. You're a baby, you're a crybaby because they said no to you," said Hardaway. "We used to get no said to us all the time, and we used to know how to take it. It is what it is. It's a question, you get a yes or a no. You might not like the question, but you can't deviate and mess up the team." For 5 years, Jimmy Butler helped deliver the Heat their first true run of prosperity in the post-LeBron James era, leading the team to on 2 different NBA Finals runs and another trip to Game 7 of the conference finals. The Heat pulled off several wild playoff upsets along the way, and Butler by all indications seemed to be the embodiment of the Heat culture that the franchise loves to remind fans of. However, all of those good feelings came crashing down this year when the Heat stumbled out of the gates and Butler ultimately wound up requesting a trade, bringing a simmering feud between himself and Pat Riley to a bitter conclusion. It remains to be seen how Butler will ultimately be remembered by Heat Nation, considering how quickly his reputation with the fanbase did a 180 over the last couple of months. Still, there's no taking away from the heights he was able to reach with the franchise. As Miami Heat star Tyler Herro experienced his first All-Star event, he now looks to lead his team after the break in the hopes of a potential playoff push. There was no doubt that there was a feeling of disappointment for the Heat heading into the break as they are in the midst of a 4-game losing streak mixed with the team trading Jimmy Butler this past trade deadline as Herro speaks about the current situation. It was an eventful weekend for Herro who, after having a short time in the festivities Sunday, spoke to the media about the state of the team down in Miami. He would express that while the 25-28 record is not where they want to be, there is a breath of fresh air around the team according to the Miami Herald. "Honestly, I think the record isn't what we want it to be, but I feel like there's a breath of fresh air around our locker room, our arena, our city," Herro said. I think it's well before this trophy was won. I think there's a breath of fresh air just around the whole organization, and I'm happy to represent us and be here for our organization and our city, just to represent and win this competition. Besides being a first-time All-Star, Herro would win the three-point contest, making him the fifth player in Heat history to accomplish the task. He hopes to take that lethal shooting and help the team have a nice stretch with a few more months left in the season. I mean, these last 25 to 30 games are really important for everyone, Herro said via the Miami Herald as he heads back to Miami. We dropped the last 4 heading into the break. We got a new group, in a sense, and we're going to hit the ground running. It's going to happen fast and everything is going to matter throughout this next month and a half. We love what we got and we're excited for this next stretch after the break. Part of that new group when the Heat traded Butler to the Golden State Warriors in a multi-team deal was Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and former Toronto Raptors guard Davion Mitchell. As Herro and the others will work to get the newcomers to find some semblance, it is no doubt an adjustment when you trade away a player who's been a teammate for a number of years. Draymond Green sends strong message about Jimmy Butler. The NBA All-Star break is underway, following a hectic trade deadline period. One of the biggest splash moves at the trade deadline was the Golden State Warriors acquiring Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat. Butler joined an organization with clear talent, rostering one of the greatest players of all time, Stephen Curry, but still, the Warriors sit at number 10 in the Western Conference standings with a 28-27 record. During the All-Star break, Warriors star Draymond Green spoke on the addition of Butler, who has seemingly revived Golden State's championship hopes. Green shared high praise for Butler, mentioning that he's injected energy into the building, deeming him a leader and dog. Shout out to Jimmy Butler, Green said, per Anthony Slater. Completely changed the belief in this team. We started off the year great and everybody believed. And then continued to believe even though it was going rough. But, at a certain point it don't start going right, you start to lose that belief. It's like Jimmy was like life support for us. Just came and injected a bunch of energy, a bunch of belief into this group because of the leader that he is, because of the talent and player that he is, because of the guy and dog that he is. Before being traded from the Miami Heat, Butler was suspended indefinitely due to conduct detrimental to the team. After a drama-filled ending to his stint in Miami, Butler now has an opportunity to battle for a ring alongside Green and company. Butler is currently averaging 17.6 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game. Throughout his 14-year NBA career, Butler has been named a 5-time All-NBA member, 5-time All-Defensive Team member and a 6-time All-Star. And you fan? What do you think of Draymond Green's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.